everyone, Miss Trenchcoat here, and as you can see from the title of this video and from the screen in front of you, today I'm going to be talking about the 5 best iOS apps for writers. So I've got my iPad set up here in front of the camera so that I can hopefully guide you guys through these apps that I consider the best apps for me as a writer, and I really think that they are the most flexible and the most useful apps that anyone who writes on an iOS device, particularly an iPad, that's what I'm specifically kind of gearing this to. Anyone that writes on an iPad, I'm hoping that these apps kind of give you guys a good start for writing on your iPad and creating content on your iPad. So without further ado, let me get into the apps. So the first app that I have is Plain Text, and you can see down here, it is this little app down here. I keep it on my bar because I use it so often. On the left-hand side, this is my Documents menu, and as you may be able to see, I hope that you can see that these are actually folders that have these arrows, because if you just keep going through, and we'll just hit this Scrivener one, this Scrivener file actually is the file that I keep synced to my Scrivener file on my laptop so that I can write on my iPad or on my laptop, and everything is synced through Dropbox. So I've selected that Scrivener folder, and I'm going to select further the Drafts folder, and this is where all my active articles that I am in the process of writing or have just finished writing and editing are stored. So if we open up one of these, I'm going to open up this one. It's called How to Speed Up Your Slow Mac. That is an article that's going to be on my website on Tuesday, Tech Tuesday, on www.strangecharm.com, my blog and website. So as you can see here, it opened up a panel on the right side where you can actually see the text document itself. And down here, there's actually a full screen, so I can go into full screen mode, which I really love about this application. A few other great things is if you tap on the title of the article or the document, you have a couple of options here: print, email, rename, word count, and sync all. And the word count feature is really excellent. I love it because I do partake in NaNoWriMo in November, and I absolutely have to know my word count in order to keep track of my novel's progress. So you can see here, this one is 1,638 words, this article. So I'm going to shut this down. So yeah, this is Plain Text. It's really great, really clean app. I've been using it for a long time. Like I said, it syncs to Dropbox, which I think is amazing because I can get it to sync to my Scrivener on my Mac. And if you guys want to get a set of directions on how to do that yourself, I will link my blog post below on how to sync Scrivener to Plain Text. But you will use Dropbox for that. So if you're someone who uses Dropbox, this is a great app to have. This app not only syncs to my Scrivener, well, this file in and of itself syncs to my Scrivener on my from Plain Text. If you go out, something like S&C blog here, I don't even know if there's files here. Yeah, there's a couple of files here. But that specific document file does not sync to my Scrivener, so I have things that are not synced to my home computer. But the great thing about the Dropbox functionality with the Plain Text is that these other files also sync to my iPad mini and my iPhone that also have my Plain Text downloaded to it. So I do have access to all of these files on all of my iOS devices. And like I said, certain files I have synced to my MacBook Pro and my Scrivener application on my Mac. So I absolutely love Plain Text. I can't speak highly enough of it. It's just beautiful. You can get a free download of this. They do have like an ad version for free, or I think it's like $1 or $2 to upgrade. After I downloaded the free trial and realized how much it was just absolutely indispensable for me, I ended up just quickly upgrading to the ads-free version to make it look really clean. So yes, this is Plain Text, and I absolutely love it for writing. The next app that I absolutely love is Paper by 53. I use this app for a little bit of sketching out ideas and writing down some of the ideas that I have for my blog and for miscellaneous other projects in my life. If you are not familiar with Paper, it is basically like a virtual Moleskine journal that you can kind of customize the exterior cover. So you can see here I have blog. I wonder what's in here. Okay, so these are just some ideas and pictures that I've drawn, just miscellaneous, absolutely miscellaneous things that I've drawn in here, like a what's in my bag and just ideas for reviews and things like that. So as you can see, this is a really beautiful app, and you kind of just pinch and navigate your way through. Let's see what I've got here. I've got some, oh here, this was my outline for when I was talking about why a woman would be interested in A Girl's Guide to the iPad, as you can see here. So as you can see here, I like hand wrote all these notes. So when I entered into full screen here with paper, you can see that a panel showed up with all different tools at the bottom. I've got an eraser tool, a pen tool, a pencil, like a fat marker, like a Sharpie marker, which is kind of what I've written with in here. I think there is also like another pen tool, like a thinner pen tool, and a paintbrush. Then there is a color palette, and then a bunch of saved colors. Because this is a really great app, not just for writing, but also for drawing. As you saw, I did a little bit of sketches. I'm not like the best artist, but for some reason, paper makes everybody into a good artist, or at least a decent artist, because it kind of does a little bit of editing for you when you're going along. Like it cleans up your lines and makes things a little bit smoother and things like that. So I absolutely love this, because if I just want to kind of like sit and write out my ideas, I will go into here and I will just start writing ideas. Oops. Ideas for YouTube. All right, I could just write whatever I want. And I started writing iPad instead of ideas here, which is why my D looked funny. Okay, but as you can see, it's really great, touch responsive. I normally will use my Lunatic Touch Pen when I am using any sort of touchscreen apps like this while I'll be writing or drawing or sketching or whatnot. But it's a very good app, and I absolutely love it. It's a little bit more expensive. I actually am not exactly sure how much it costs for the entire palette now, because I purchased everything when the app first came out. So I've just gotten the color wheel and all the extra doodads and add-ons for free, because I had already owned the full application earlier when they had originally launched. But I just really love paper. It's a really great smooth design, and I just think it's really great for kind of just sketching out and working out your ideas. And it's got these beautiful moleskin notebooks. And here it just added this thing called Made with Paper, where you could look through other people's drawings. So you could see all these things were pictures that were made using this application. So you could see this person's got like an office plan, like more like diary notes here, research assistant, multitasking on iPad. Ooh, these are pretty colorful yarn. Yeah, so I think you get the idea of what this app is about. You kind of just pinch to go out. It's very easy to use, and I use a lot. So that is Paper by 53. The next app that I use, again, all the time is Dropbox. It's one of those apps that I kind of just keep in the background, and it syncs up all of my notes from plain text, and it also syncs some other files for me and my husband between our computers and things like that. I have a ton of just different things saved in here, and my photos are backed up in here. I just save everything to Dropbox because it's all your files and all your photos and all your documents, whatever you need, they're in the cloud, and you can call them out whenever you need them. So I guess I really don't have to talk that much about Dropbox. Like I said, I really kind of use this in the background to connect my apps that I use, like plain text, with my computer, and to sync certain things. Like for instance, on my laptop, I do use Dropbox from my computer, the computer version, to back up all of my Scrivener files, not just any that are synced with plain text, but all of my Scrivener files are all saved to Dropbox so that I don't have to worry about losing anything that I've written. But the app for the iPad is very good, because you can, like here, I don't know what this is, iPad intro PDF. Oh, okay, this is Dropbox for iPad. So you can see it even lets you view files from within. So it's a very useful app. And like I said, most of what you're probably going to get use out of is the fact that you can kind of set this up in the background of your different applications, and it will keep things synced for you without you having to think about it. And for me, that's indispensable. Okay, another app that I've been using just a little bit to kind of do mind mapping for my writing is this app here called Mind Genius. I believe it was free. I think it was. And it's just very simple and clean mind mapping software. So you can see here I have Strange and Charmed book. It's just an example. I could put a subtopic in here by editing them. I could take out what this is. And let's say for Strange and Charmed, I might want to write about technology. And out of that, I might want to talk about iPads. And I might want to talk about iPhones. Yeah, so without going into too much detail, you can see here that this is basically just like a tree of thought. I'm not exactly sure what you call this. I call this mind mapping, where you start with a central idea and then you kind of keep adding extra kind of like strings of ideas and get as more specific as you go down. Like this is a general idea, this is a more specific idea, and then you're getting into exact specifications here. So yeah, this is a very simple piece of free software. I know a lot of people like to use mind mapping software. I'm trying to get into using it, and this is easy enough. And like I said, I believe it was free, which is why I downloaded it. I liked the way that the program was kind of laid out and how you could zoom in and zoom out and things like that. It was very easy, and you can just add trees and stuff like that. You can add new things. Oop. Map diagram. So you can move this around in a lot of different ways. It's pretty easy to use. So if you're someone that is interested in using mind mapping software, this is something that you may find interesting. Or if you're someone who maybe has thought about it but never downloaded anything, this is a free app. And as far as I was concerned, when I was comparing other apps that did this same thing, all the other ones kind of looked too cluttered to me. So this was kind of the clearest one where I had a lot of control and it was very simple and straightforward. So that is Mind Genius for iPad. The next app, which is another app that I've just started using, I forget how much this was. I want to say it was maybe $1.99. This is NoteSuite right here. I'll click on that. And this is like all-in-one planning, researching software. I really don't know the best way to describe it. It's certainly productivity software because you have a lot of options here. This mode that I'm in right now with these little documents are notes. So you can have note files where you take notes about whatever you want, maybe research or ideas about posts or idea about YouTube videos that you want to do, whatever you're into, whatever you're trying to be productive in, you can make notes here. The second option here is like a task list, and I actually use my article ideas here. So this is where I put all my article ideas. And as you can see, I've got article ideas, pictures that I needed to take. So I can get in here a little bit and move in and move out. Another thing that's really great about this app is that you are able to take, not like screenshots, you can clip web pages in here, which I think is very useful. All you have to do is go out to your Safari and you'll be able to clip web pages. So here are 5 quirky uses for a mint tin. Let's say I wanted to take this, this information. I can select all and copy. And then I go back to NoteSuite, and then it notices that I just copied a web page. So it says clip web page. Add it to to-do list, or I can, and here I can say clip article or clip the full page. So I'm going to clip the article and I'm going to hit clip. And what it's going to do is load the web page into the application. And now I've got it there. And now you can see this is now in my notes folder. So what's interesting about this is I think that this can be very useful for when you are writing articles and researching articles or researching novels, whatever you're researching, any writing that you're researching. If you have web pages that you're referring back to, this is a great way to kind of just copy them all and put them all in one place so that you can see, you know, all of the things that you're working on, all of the things you need to read. I just think it's a really great app for keeping things organized. And there's a lot of things that this app does that I haven't even been able to scratch the surface with yet, but I can already tell that it's a pretty well done app, and I already see like infinite uses for myself. As you can see, like you can clip things for notes, and like I said, I can look at all of my to-dos that I've put together, and I can schedule things, and all different things are in here. As you can see, it is very multi-featured, lots of different uses, and I think that it is so far an excellent app for kind of helping you be productive with your writing while you're on an iPad. So those were my 5 iOS apps that I think are excellent for writers. If you guys have any other apps that you think are great for writers or assisting writers in their productivity and coming up with ideas and expressing their creativity, leave me a comment below. I would love to see what you guys are using, if any of you also write on an iOS device like an iPad or an iPad mini. And until the next video, you guys, I will see you later. Okay, bye.